Picture a world 5,000 years ago. The first cities are rising from the fertile plains of Mesopotamia. In Uruk, the world's first metropolis, 50,000 people live within walls of sun-dried brick. They've mastered something revolutionary: writing. Cuneiform tablets track trade, record laws, and tell epic tales of gods and heroes. By 2500 BCE, the pyramids of Giza pierce the Egyptian sky. Each massive stone, weighing up to 80 tons, fits so precisely that you couldn't slide a credit card between them. While Europe still sleeps in the Stone Age, Egyptian physicians are performing surgery, astronomers are tracking stars, and mathematicians are solving complex equations. Around 1200 BCE, iron weapons transform warfare. Empires rise and fall with shocking speed. The Assyrians build the world's first professional army. The Phoenicians spread their alphabet across the Mediterranean. In India, the Vedas are composed, laying the foundation for Hinduism. Greece emerges from its dark age around 800 BCE. In Athens, citizens debate in the world's first democracy. Socrates questions everything. Aristotle catalogs the natural world. Alexander the Great carries Greek culture to the edges of India. Then Rome rises. From a tiny settlement by the Tiber River, it grows into an empire of 50 million people. They build 250,000 miles of roads, enough to circle Earth 10 times. Their aqueducts, many still standing today, delivered more water to Rome than some modern cities have. But by 476 CE, Rome falls to Germanic tribes. The ancient world is ending, yet its legacy survives. Our laws, architecture, languages, and philosophies all trace back to these ancient innovators who first asked, "How should we live? What makes a good society?" Questions we're still answering today. The year is 500 CE. The Roman Empire has fallen, and Europe stands at the dawn of an era we now call the Middle Ages. For the next 1,000 years, this period would reshape humanity forever. In these dark times, power shifted dramatically. While Rome's influence faded, new kingdoms emerged from the chaos. The Franks, Visigoths, and Saxons carved up territories, establishing the foundations of modern Europe. But true power lay not in the hands of kings, but in the church. By 800 CE, Charlemagne united much of Western Europe, creating the first post-Roman Empire. His reign marked the beginning of feudalism, a social system that would define medieval life for centuries. Lords offered protection to peasants who worked their lands, while knights pledged military service in exchange for estates. Life in medieval times was harsh. Peasants toiled from sunrise to sunset, farming with primitive tools. Disease was rampant, with the Black Death of 1347 wiping out nearly half of Europe's population. Yet this era also saw remarkable achievements. Gothic cathedrals soared to unprecedented heights, their spires reaching toward heaven. Universities were born, spreading knowledge across borders. Trade routes connected distant lands, bringing exotic spices, silks, and new ideas to European shores. The Crusades, beginning in 1095, launched 2 centuries of religious warfare. These campaigns, while brutal, opened European eyes to different cultures and advanced technologies. Meanwhile, in castle great halls, troubadours sang tales of chivalry and courtly love. As we approached 1500, medieval society was transforming. The printing press revolutionized communication. Cities grew larger and more influential. A merchant class emerged, challenging the old feudal order. The Middle Ages were ending, but their legacy would echo through centuries to come. This 1,000-year period, often called dark, actually illuminated the path to our modern world. Through war and peace, plague and prosperity, medieval people built the foundations of European civilization as we know it today. The year is 1500. Europe is awakening from the medieval period, and the world is about to change forever. Welcome to the early modern era, a period that would reshape human civilization. In Europe, a revolution in thinking was underway. The Renaissance, born in Italy, spread across the continent like wildfire. Artists like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci weren't just creating masterpieces, they were changing how humans saw themselves and their world. But this was also an age of exploration and conquest. Portuguese ships ventured down the African coast. Spanish conquistadors crossed vast oceans. The Americas, previously unknown to Europeans, became battlegrounds where ancient empires like the Aztecs and Incas faced steel, gunpowder, and devastating diseases. In Asia, mighty empires reached their golden ages. The Ottoman Empire dominated from Budapest to Baghdad. The Mughal Empire created architectural marvels like the Taj Mahal. In China, the Ming dynasty's wealth and sophistication amazed European visitors. This era saw unprecedented changes in how humans thought and fought. The scientific revolution challenged ancient beliefs. Copernicus dared to suggest that Earth wasn't the center of the universe. Newton explained gravity. The printing press spread these ideas faster than ever before. But progress came at a terrible cost. The Atlantic slave trade tore millions from their homes. Religious wars ravaged Europe. Native American civilizations were devastated by conquest and disease. The early modern period wasn't just about renaissance and discovery. It was about power, suffering, and survival. By 1800, the world was unrecognizable from 3 centuries earlier. The scientific revolution had laid the groundwork for the Industrial Revolution. European empires spanned the globe, and new ideas about human rights and democracy were about to spark more revolutions. This was the early modern period, an age of transformation that built the foundations of our modern world. Its legacy surrounds us still, in our art, our science, our politics, and our struggles. Understanding this era isn't just about learning history, it's about understanding who we are today. In just 145 years, humanity experienced more dramatic changes than in the previous 1,000. This is the story of how our world transformed forever. The 1800s dawned with the Industrial Revolution in full swing. Steam engines roared to life, factories sprouted across landscapes, and cities swelled with workers seeking new opportunities. The world was shrinking. Railways connected continents while steamships crossed oceans in record time. But progress came at a cost. Children labored in dangerous factories. Smoke choked city skies. The gap between rich and poor widened dramatically. Yet innovation continued relentlessly. Electricity lit up homes, telephones connected voices across vast distances, and the first automobiles appeared on streets. Then came the 20th century. The Wright brothers conquered the skies in 1903. Henry Ford's assembly lines made cars affordable for average families. Cities reached toward the clouds with steel skyscrapers. But in 1914, humanity plunged into darkness. World War I erupted, introducing tanks, planes, and chemical weapons to the battlefield. 9 million soldiers never returned home. The war reshaped nations and toppled empires. The 1920s roared with jazz, speakeasies, and economic prosperity. But in 1929, stock markets crashed. The Great Depression gripped the world, leaving millions unemployed and desperate. As some nations turned to democracy for solutions, others embraced authoritarian leaders. Hitler's Nazi Germany, Mussolini's Italy, and Imperial Japan sought power through conquest. Their ambitions ignited World War II in 1939. The world witnessed unprecedented destruction. Cities were reduced to rubble. The Holocaust claimed millions of innocent lives. Then, in 1945, Atomic bombs devastated Hiroshima and Nagasaki, ushering in the nuclear age. In less than 150 years, humanity had harnessed electricity, conquered the skies, split the atom, and fought 2 global wars. The world of 1945 would have been unrecognizable to someone from 1800. This era of rapid change set the stage for the modern world we know today. 1945. The world emerged from its darkest chapter as World War II came to an end. But this wasn't just peace. It was the dawn of a new era that would reshape humanity forever. 2 superpowers rose from the ashes: the United States and the Soviet Union. Their ideological battle would define the next 4 decades in what we now call the Cold War. While they never fought directly, their influence sparked conflicts across the globe, from Vietnam to Afghanistan. But this period wasn't just about conflict. The 1950s and 60s brought unprecedented technological advancement. Television entered homes, computers began their evolution, and in 1969, humanity achieved what once seemed impossible. We walked on the moon. The 1970s and 80s witnessed social revolution. Civil rights movements gained momentum, women fought for equality, and environmental consciousness began to take root. Meanwhile, the personal computer revolution was quietly beginning in Silicon Valley garages. 1989 marked a pivotal moment. The Berlin Wall fell, symbolizing the end of the Cold War. The 1990s ushered in the age of globalization. The internet connected our world in ways never before imagined. Then came September 11th, 2001. This single day altered the course of the 21st century, leading to wars that would reshape the Middle East and impact global politics for decades. The 2008 financial crisis tested the resilience of our interconnected world. Yet, from this crisis emerged new technologies and innovations. Smartphones became universal. Social media transformed communication, and artificial intelligence began its rapid ascent. Today, we face unprecedented challenges: climate change, pandemic recovery, and technological disruption. But history has shown us that humanity's greatest achievements often emerge from its greatest challenges. This is our contemporary history, a period of remarkable transformation that continues to unfold. We're not just studying these events, we're living them, shaping them, and writing the next chapter of a human history.